Alright, I'm here. What's up? What's good? Whew! Alright. Hi there, guys. What's good? I'm riding the fams here. Nice to see y'all. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Let's get this started, shall we? So, we are back with episode number 32. I have not done an episode of this show since back in May. We are now in August 16th, 2022. We are back with another episode of the Lightning Round podcast. I'm Riding the Phantoms here, your host. Nice to see y'all. Please don't mind the stuff in the background. I have not been able to put some stuff away, but I'm probably going to once this is over. I just had to get this stuff out the way, talk about some shit, get it all done and over with. But how are you guys been? How are you guys doing? Nice to see y'all. Like I said, it's been a bit since we last did this. So we're going to go ahead and talk about some stuff that came up for me to really want to get off our chest. But again, if anyone wants to go ahead and talk about the stuff, talk about some stuff that you'll want me to talk about, some stuff that comes up. Of course, y'all know where to find me. You can just DM me. You can put it down on the Discord channel that we have that I promoted here. We can put it down anywhere else. That's all well and good. That's all fine. So today we got a couple things we need to address. We need to talk about some controversy with a couple games. One that's fan-made and one that just came out that I've actually been having some fun with. We need to talk about Sonic Omens. We need to talk about the Tower of Fantasy situation. We need to talk about that. We have to talk about this crazy school intrusive shit that I happen to come across. I want to talk about that because that's a little worrying with what could be the future for kids coming up in the world. See, I remember having to deal with some stuff like that as a kid. And you too, Total. You too, Total Dominance. I hope everything's been good with you. I will speak with you a little later, if at all possible. If not today, I will definitely speak with you tomorrow. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. What was going on with the school intrusive shit, school intrusive attempts, and of course we're gonna talk about the NFL 2023. I'm gonna do this as a two-parter because I know if I try to cover all 32 teams, it's gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna try to do one half NFC, then I'll come back with the next week, and then we'll do the AFC side. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do NFC first and then AFC later. So that's how everything's gonna go with that. I'm gonna give predictions, but not for every division. Hopefully, I'll be able to cover as many teams as I can, and not leave any of them out. So first off, let me pull up these topics, so then that way we can just easily cycle through them, and we'll know what we wanna watch. Alright, I have them all up now. Other than that, how are you guys been? I hope everyone has been doing good. Hope everyone has been taking care of themselves. Been doing great, whatever and whatnot. So apparently that whole school intrusive thing, apparently that's not there anymore. So guess what? It looks like for me, I'm going to have to retcon that. But I will go ahead and talk about it first because apparently the person decided to take it upon themselves to go ahead and tweet this out first, and then they fucked around and just got rid of it. Okay. But I will say this. If what I had seen from that tweet was anything to go off of, that's very concerning. Where what they explained in that tweet, I'm going to go ahead and read it off to you, where it said, my daughter's school released a new cell phone policy that includes school officials can read any text between students, even if the text occurred outside of school hours. If that's really going to be the case, I don't know. I sadly don't know what school policy is this from. But I hope something like that doesn't become a widespread thing. If there's any truth to that, I hope that does not become a widespread issue. to the point where kids all of a sudden, you know, they just have to just basically leave their phone at home or whatever and whatnot. Here's the deal. I understand schools to where they don't want you to have your phone because they want you to focus on your schoolwork. They don't want you to do anything like they don't want you to be distracted or whatever and whatnot that there is. Because I'm gonna tell you this from experience, my school did the same thing. Now this is at the time where you didn't necessarily need to have your phone like that, but like how it is, especially right now, like how it is. But nowadays, I don't know why would you even have a school policy like this with phones in the first place. I would say because the way how the state of the world is, where everybody at this point, they need their phone for something. Hell, you got rid of fucking payphones, so that's one option. That's one thing that's automatically eliminated. You don't have that anymore, so should God forbid anything happen to these kids when school's over or even before school, they're gonna need to at least contact someone or someone or even the police for that matter. So I don't like the fact that you're invading on their privacy. Call me a payphone. Shit, I mean they're taking away payphones. Nowadays you just about need your cell phone only. Your cell phone is the payphone. I guess it makes sense considering you're paying for the phone bill. But yeah. So under any way, having to either call someone or text someone with a potential situation that's dire, you need that. Or if you even just want to text a friend or just chill with them, the last thing you need is someone breathing down your neck. You already got potential murderers, rapists, or whatever breathing down your neck. The last thing you need is a school doing the same. So I don't like that policy. I don't like it at all. I hope something like that never comes to pass. So yeah, like I said, this whole tweet that I put out, it's not there anymore. So, but that's just my little thought on that. So it's whatever now. But you guys can give your whole thoughts, all of your thoughts on that whole thing on the announcements. That's the only way you can see it is through the announcements. That's the only way you can see it is through my announcements channel. You can't see it any other way. Because sadly, they decided to get rid of it. But that's only one topic. And it wasn't going to last that long anyway. So we do have another one. I do want to talk about this here. I'm going to bring this up on the screen right now. We have to have this talk with Sonic Omens. Now for me, I've had this game come up on my timeline. Throughout the past week. I will be adjusting that Nightbot, by the way, because that's not the case. Because it's not held in the Star Clan server anymore. I will give y'all a link to my Discord. So, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. It should come up right about now. Give it a minute. Oh, and by the way, as this is waiting, how are you guys doing? That unnecessarily took a long ass time. I don't know why that took so long. But I don't know why that took so long, but that's whatever. What's done is done. So I want to talk about this first. We need to talk about this whole thing. So Sonic Omens made the rounds for me throughout the past few weeks, right before I started to really do this episode. Now it started to die down a little bit, but apparently there's more that was going on with this game than how it was initially. At first, when the whole thing started to come out, is my controller dirty? Yeah, I need to wash it out a little. At first, when the whole Sonic Omens thing started to come out, people really started to make fun of it only because of the fact that people was very. I would just say this: they was laughing, right? They was laughing over how the cutscenes of the game were, and apparently they couldn't really take the voice acting all that seriously, which is understandable. But hey, I mean, a fan game's a fan game. But apparently there was more to this than just the whole gameplay itself. There was more to this than just the cutscenes that people were laughing over. So we have more here that I'm going to read here. So it says Sonic Omens and the Downfall of the Ouroboros. And I'm seeing a lot of this stuff here on the comment section, and it's just wow. A lot of stuff here. Now, not all of this that's going on here, but let me scroll all the way down a little bit more. So this is right before I start to click on that Google Docs. See, for me nowadays, because I've been used to how the whole Sonic drama issue, anytime I see a Google Docs, that means somebody's in trouble. Either somebody's in trouble, or they're just venting to let some shit out. So let's go ahead and read this. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so we're gonna read this. They said the bystanders who were named in this document had no involvement. Do not harass them in any way. I'm not gonna harass them in any way because I really just don't care. But I'm gonna read this just to see what the hell happened with all this. This document will contain explicit stuff specifically found in the Maria texture section. Hello, my name is Farky, and I'm the writer of this document. You may wonder why I'm in the Sonic Omens Twitter account. Well, I did ask the owner of the account if he could publish my document. So no, I don't own the Twitter account. Anyway, this document was written because of Ouroboros Studios' actions. They have been involved in harassment, paywalling. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you're doing a paywall over a fan-made game, something that's not yours, especially if you're not the developer of said game. I'm sorry, not developer. Especially if you're not the publisher of said game, because you already know Sonic's owned by Sega. If you're doing that, that's a big no-no. So you see a lot of. You usually would see a lot of fan-made Sonic games, but the thing is that makes this one separate compared to the rest is they decided to do a paywall, whereas any other fan-made games they won't pay you, period, because you're not supposed to make money off of them. It's okay to develop. It's okay to, take the assets and be like, you know what, fuck it. If you can make a better game than us, go ahead. But you can't make any bread. You gotta oblige by their rules. Now, would you rather have it as that, or would you rather have it as Nintendo, where if you even bother to attempt to make a fan-made game, they'll catch wind of it and they're gonna strike your ass so fast. They're gonna put you down so fast, like right before you can blink. Your shit's done in about a couple days. It's not even gonna be a week until they find out. They're just gonna be like, you know what? No, you don't get to pay this at all. Nobody gets to play this shit. You take this shit down right now. So that's the comparison right there between Sega and Nintendo with how they handle fan-made games. And it looks like this is the one time, if I was Sega, I'd be pulling a Nintendo. So we're gonna see. We're gonna read more on this. If you haven't read as much as I read right here, but yeah, we're gonna read a little bit more on this. They said that they have been involved in harassment, paywalling, previews behind the game, and on a Russian Patreon equivalent. Wow. The project also stole music from Cars 2, the video game, and they are spreading lies about the past drama. This document wouldn't have existed if they didn't harass me and encourage their fans to go after people who did not like the game. Wow. So let's read what this is all about. So it said they're doing it again with Patreon and they're doing it again with Patreon and on other Patreon pages. Sonic Omens originally had a beta build behind the paywall subscription on Patreon until they got the backlash, which basically ruined their reputation for not handling criticism properly. They reworked Bolt's personal Patreon, into Ouroboros Patreon, which hosts their original IP projects. By the way, if you hear any wind, my apologies, because I have the fan on. I have 2 fans on. I have one ceiling fan which just got installed, and I got my personal fan on that I bought like a year ago. So my apologies if you hear any wind. It's still hot in my room. They said, however, it still hosts Sonic Omens related development stuff, excluding beta builds. Excluding beta builds. These images were taken from their Patreon through inspect elements. Wow. Okay. My issue with the Patreon is that their original IP projects are basically non-existent because it's overshadowed by Sonic Omens posts. They don't advertise Sonic Omens in their Patreon description, but if you scroll down, you will find out that multiple posts are filled with Sonic Omens content. Not only that, but Patreon isn't even the only thing they have. Oh shit. My apologies for you. I didn't have Mix It Up on. My apologies. I forgot to turn it on. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading what's going on here as my Mix It Up is loading. So they said, not only that, but Patreon isn't even the only thing they have. If you go to their VK page, which is a social media platform like Twitter or Facebook that also allows you to donate money through date donations, you can also find posts advertising a Patreon equivalent called Boosty. I've never heard of that before. Called Boosty, which advertises Sonic Omens. If you go to their Boosty page, it literally... Give me a minute. Okay, I had to turn that on. Not only that, is this on too? Okay, cool, because we're going to get to that in a little bit with the Tower Fantasy. Not only that, but, let's see. Okay, if you go to their Boosty page, it literally hides Sonic Omens content behind the paywall. Ooh, my God. Let me take a sip of water because we're going to need it. Everybody hydrate. This is going to be a lot. Okay. I'm not going to read the pictures, but it does see that they're very much locking this shit behind paywalls. Again, keep in mind, this is a fan-made game. They're not with Sega. Sega would... I'm surprised Sega is as relaxed as they are, because this is an absolute no-no. Their Patreon... the Boosty page is filled with a lot of Sonic Omens posts that are hidden behind a paywall subscription, like their Patreon page. The people in the Sonic Omens Discord kept mentioning that the Patreon had nothing related to the game, but now suddenly it's related to the project. So, which is it then? Patreon and Boosty are definitely used to financially support Sonic Omens development. They're using Sonic Omens as a way to jumpstart their career. They haven't learned anything from the backlash. They know they can get away with it because of the amount of people defending their actions. Ooh. Dragon the Edge. Dragon of the Edge. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, let me read this for y'all. I know y'all can't see what I'm reading, but that's why I'm about to read it off for y'all. So apparently, Dragon of the Edge is a DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon fan game. So you might wonder, what does this have to do with Ouroboros? Sonic Omens wasn't their first fan game to hide behind beta builds behind the paywall subscription. I found out about the fan game when it was mentioned in an unlisted Q&A video from Ouroboros, related to one of their How to Train Your Dragon fan animation projects. So I decided to Google it, and I came across a YouTube channel named Alexei Kolikov, I think, Alexei Kolikov, which in one of the latest videos has a link to both a Patreon and a Boosty page that hides the beta builds behind a paywall subscription. This game existed before Sonic 2020, which is Sonic Omens, was even a thing. It is not clear if Ouroboros was involved with the project in the past, but I assume thanks to the Q&A video that Ouroboros at least had some involvement with it. I'm not gonna take a look at any of this stuff because I know I'm not gonna take a look at it right now. But I know the fact that the links are here and the fact that you can look at this at any point, that's very concerning. So basically, this wasn't the only time that they really tried to do this. Carp, how you been, bro? Welcome. Fuyu, right now you can go ahead and use your alerts. Have at it. Have fun. You can use your alerts. So I'm looking at all this stuff here. Tomato Queen the Cat. Do you keep on developing the game for Dragons of the Edge? Or Boros responded, say if we make dragons for episodes, they will automatically appear in the game. Wow. So Tower Fantasy, yay or nay? I'm about to get to it. I will get to it as soon as I'm done with this, cause I'm gonna read up as much as I can on this, and then after that, I'm gonna jump right to the Tower Fantasy situation. Sonic Omens Game Jolt page has had the most amount of viewers out of any Sonic game on that site, since Game Jolt is a website where most Sonic fan games are downloadable. This makes it the most popular Sonic fan game, according to Ouroboros. But that begs the question, what makes it popular? Is it because of the controversy surrounding the game? Here's the most noticeable thing about the page. Why does it have ads? Good question. If you're using Game Jolt to publish your game, you have the option to turn ads on and off. This option even says only do this if you don't want your game monetized or if your game is subject to a license that doesn't allow monetization. It is important to note that creating a new page for a game might cause the option to be automatically active, but when configuring the page, you should have at least read every option it has to offer, my bad. It does show, yep, you do have that ability to where you can check if you want to show ads or not. They probably get, of course, they're going to get compensated for having to sit up there and show ads or whatever. Ooh, okay. I definitely need to read this one because this is making fun at someone that I actually sat up there and showcased, I believe, a couple episodes ago when it went to the lightning round. So this is going to get interesting. This person named Bolt. Before the Patreon drama, a friend of mine named Ventru was going to be the voice of Shadow. The demo track I heard was pretty good. One day she needed a new microphone and told Bolt that it would come in 2 days. When telling him that her new microphone came, she realized that she got replaced and Bolt did not tell her. Wow. What he did was extremely unprofessional. This is why Shadow sounds like this in Sonic Omens. She was planned to voice Sonic as well, but also got replaced. Wow, so that's why Shadow sounds like Shadow just you have to listen to it for yourself. I'm not gonna say anything about it. You just have to listen to it for yourself. It is speculated that Bolt meant to poke fun at Chaos X with this tweet. What tweet? Oh, okay. It is speculated that Bolt meant to poke fun of Chaos X with this tweet. Well, after the episode release, it turned out to be a disaster. Maybe Bolt shouldn't poke fun at all. Fun at stuff that will backfire. Shadow Glider confirmed. I hope that gameplay turned out to be no worse than that of Chaos X 2006. That is fucked up. Yeah, that's throwing shade, bro. I'm sorry. But, hey, after all that, I want y'all to understand for people that are unaware of what Chaos X does, I want y'all to be aware of what Chaos X is trying to do. With Chaos X, I believe right now what he's trying to do is he's not only starting his own project. I don't know if that's what the tweet was referring to, but another thing with what Chaos X is doing is he's trying to make Sonic 06 the game that it should have been. So I'm sure a couple of y'all remember at one point you bought Sonic 06 and you weren't happy with all the bugs and all the crazy shit that happened with it, especially the long ass loading times. Chaos X 2006 is trying to remedy that issue as best he can, along with a couple people that is helping him with the project. So if that's what that tweet was for, yeah, I wouldn't cast stones at that. So, especially after all this, I definitely wouldn't have. Other than this, I'm seeing a lot of stuff when it goes to these developers and just, Twitter stuff is Twitter. Y'all already know how I feel about with how Twitter's going so far, not just for how it went for me, but how it went for a couple people. There's always going to be some drama around when it goes to either Twitter, Discord, or a specific community that you're a part of. So, okay, so this one here with John Rise, where it says John Rise is one of the composers for the game. He's also known for tracks such as Chaos Paradise and Area 99. The music is kind of okay, but what if I told you that one of the songs rearranged the track from Cars 2 the video game? Basically, he took the song, changed the instruments, and claimed that the song was original. Wow. The song's name is Unknown Race. Unknown Race is a higher quality rendition of the DS version of the Oil Rig Race theme. I made a mashup of both the themes. Okay, let's go and take a listen to that. I'm going to take a listen to that. I never played the video game, but I never played the Cars 2 video game, let alone did I play this one, but okay. So, I hope for people that played Cars 2 the video game, they would definitely be able to see, he just straight ripped that shit, but if you're being unoriginal when it goes to music, ouch. Not a good look. Definitely not, because you want to know this is giving me a vibe of? I'm going to tell you what this is giving me a vibe of. I wouldn't say unoriginal when it goes to just straight up stealing the instrumental. I'm saying this giving me a vibe of when I remember. This is music related. This is hip hop related. This is what happened like years ago. I remember when Meek Mill was beefing with Drake. Tell me why is it this motherfucker took the Undertaker's theme song and tried to rap over it. And it was so bad that the Undertaker himself came out and he legitimately said that the song was so bad that he said if I met him I would have tombstoned him. He said the rap was so bad I would have just straight up tombstoned him. I'm like, if you're gonna take the song, you better make it a damn good song. If not, then he's just gonna straight copyright it. I will never forget that he said that. In fact, I hope one day I could tweet this out. I'm sorry, not tweet it out. I hope one day I can just search it up on Google. In fact, I can do it right now. I'm gonna see if I can do that. Where he said this. I don't know if the article is still there, but if it is, oh my god, it would be great. I hope I can find it. If I can't, I can't. Yeah, they said the cease and desist because it was that fucking bad. I still remember having to see that and see what he had to say with that. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Hell, WWE was definitely not for it because they straight up sat up there and just copyrighted them. So there's that. He said if it was good, I would have. If it was good, I wouldn't even care. But the fact that he sat up there and did that, he was like, no, just no. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I gotta find it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Right here. Right here. He said, I don't know if he didn't think I was gonna hear it, but I did. I wouldn't have filed a lawsuit if the track was actually good, but since he included my theme in a fucking garbage track, I'm angry. My plain theme song was a better diss than Meek Mill's itself. Oh, damn, I can't, damn, they cut out the part where he said, look, I would have tombstoned him if it was, I would have tombstoned him if I see him. Oh my god. Okay, so, yeah, I'll find that another day. Okay. So I'm gonna continue on with this little situation. He said not only that, but the people who re-uploaded Sonic Omens soundtrack were both fans of the music and of the fan game itself. But instead of claiming the video, he decided to strike down an entire channel. Yes, he has every right to do this, but those were fans of his music and the game. He could have at least asked them to delete those videos instead of permanently getting rid of their platform. And John had this tweet where you know, John called the original poster of this sweetie. Like, oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. And of course, Discord. Okay. I've seen enough stuff here. But, I want to go down to this whole Maria situation that happened with this that people are really not too thrilled with. And of course, there's the whole censorship shit. There's all that. Here it is, right here. We're gonna read this off. So I'm gonna give a quiet warning. Whatever's going on with this Maria situation, I'm not gonna click on this because I'm not trying to hear Twitch's shit. I'm not trying to get involved with their shit. But I will read off of what the hell is going on. If you're not okay with what's about to be read off, you guys have the time to sit up there and turn away with what I'm about to read next. Because after this, I'm going to read what I can with this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the whole Tower of Fantasy situation. We're going to figure out what's going on with that. And I'm going to give my pros and cons of the game thus far. Okay. So recently, Demonic, how you doing? Welcome. It is always great to see you. Thank you for posting the pictures that you saw. They were absolutely great. I love them. Questionable Maria textures. So recently, in my private server, someone who I'm not going to mention for the name of safety reasons found an underwear texture for Maria. Why? Why? On the texture, it's written, whoa. On the texture is written bad girl. Like, oh shit. So you mean to tell me, right? Man's created underwear for Maria, and on the texture you put down bad girl. Why though? I'm doing good. That's great to hear you're doing good, my man. I'm just reading off a little bit of this controversy that's going on here with this one game, and I'm going to read controversy for another game. You said, what the actual fuck? She's 12. She's 12, bro. This counts as sexualizing minors, and whoever thought it was a good idea to make this, to my knowledge, the texture is not visible or at least obscured during the boss fight, meaning this was added by someone for fun. Okay, so to basically put it simply, this basically was a 25-page document with all the detail and all the shit that they've pulled here. Here's how I feel with it that's already a no-no. What's already a no-no with it is the fact that you are sitting up there and you are... The only Sonic fan game I got my eye on is Sonic World DX. Good. I'm going to keep it as this. What's already a no-no with this fan game is the simple fact that you are trying your damnness to make money off of something that is really not yours. Look, at the end of the day, you can have as many fan projects as you want. But if that company sits up there and they tells you you are not allowed to make money off of my shit, then you're supposed to oblige by that agreement. You're supposed to agree to that shit, bro. Shit like this, it's kind of giving Nintendo that ammo as to why they don't want you to sit up there and make fan games. Because of shit like this. Then not only that, of course, we find out that you're stealing songs from a game, another game that's actually official. So that's two things they're trying to steal from. They're stealing sound from a game that's not theirs, and they're trying to steal from, basically, they're trying to steal from stuff that's really not theirs. The only thing you could even make a case and say it's theirs was how their story went. But other than that, the rights to Sonic is not theirs. The rights to Shadow is not theirs. The rights to any of the other stuff that's probably in that game, it's not theirs. So it's Sega's. So for fan-made games of Sonic, that's a huge that's a huge no-no to them. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I hope no one is really supporting shit like this, because first off, a fan-made game should never be locked behind a paywall. I don't care how popular you are. I don't care how hard you worked on the project. At the end of the day, Sonic is Sega. Sonic is not whoever anyone else, unless they make it so. Unless if one day they decide to sell the rights to Sonic to some other company, which we know they're not going to do. It doesn't belong to you. So that's how I see it. Alright. So next we're going to get on with this little situation. We have Tower of Fantasy. So I'm going to let y'all know real quick before we read off of what's going on with this little tweet thread with Tower of Fantasy. I'm going to say this. I've played the game throughout the past number of days. I will say this straight up. This game, for me, I can officially say I played this game more than I've ever played Genshin. Real shit. Some of the things that they put in with this game is actually what I wish they had put in with Genshin in the first place. And the reason why I feel this way is really because there's some things that Genshin do that'll burn you out quick with the game. First off, oh my god. First off, the combat for Genshin is really, really bare bones for me. The combat for Genshin is incredibly bare bones. Hell, even with some of the characters that they have, you could see that it's just not it. Like, for me, it's such a step down for what MiHoYo has done when it goes to Honkai. Honkai's gameplay, it's very fast, it's very fluid, and I can always go back to Honkai whenever I have the time and be like, you know what, I fucking love playing this game. So whenever I play Genshin and I see it's just boring the combat for me is so boring with the game. I can't even sit there within an hour to really play the game. And for me, another thing that I really do not like with Genshin, I don't like the characters. The characters for me, they're just honestly. They don't really have any character to them, at least in my opinion. The only character that did have character to them, the only character, of course, had some spine to them, is, of course, the one Archon that should be obvious enough that I'm going to say here. And I'm talking specifically about the Raiden Shogun. Other than that, I don't give a damn about really anyone else in the game. I don't care about the main character. I don't care about Paimon. I don't care about... when it goes to personality, I don't care about Mona. The only reason why people give a damn about Mona is the amount of fan service and hentai she gets. And the same can be said throughout at least some of the girls that's in the game. Do the people really care about Genshin for their characters? Or do they really care about them to the point where, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and make hentai of the character and call it a day and make my bread. I mean, stop me if I'm wrong. Stop me if I'm wrong. And let's be honest, in some cases, you can say that's no different when it goes to Raiden Shogun. And I love Raiden Shogun. I love her to death. I love her character. I love the fact that she pulls out her sword. You know, everyone talk about titty sword. But, look, for me, I feel like when I look at Genshin, I look at Overwatch. Whereas people care about the characters only for the hentai. And they don't care about the characters only for the game or the story that's in place. I sure as hell don't give a fuck about the enemies either. Because you're basically fighting the same enemies every fucking... Like, you're only fighting, what, 1 or 2 enemies? You're fighting slimes with different elements. Slimes with different elements. And you're fighting... whoever the fuck else it is. That I really don't know. What, motherfuckers that are like tribal tiki shit? No disrespect, I know that sounds racist, but I don't know. I really just don't care if that makes any sense. Yes, Cart? Hold up, let me stop you there. Go ahead, stop me. What's on your mind? This is just before we start to get in with Tower of Fantasy, but this is just me just saying what I gotta say. I mean, look, when it goes to Tower of Fantasy, I just really had a lot more fun with it. But that doesn't mean I don't have any cons with the game. Best believe, I got cons when it goes to Tower of Fantasy, where it can definitely be a little bit more better on that end, especially when it goes to the company point of view. I'm gonna wait and see what Carp has to say. I'm gonna give him his floor. But I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna say one quality of life change here that I really liked from Tower of Fantasy compared to Genshin. And really, this shit really, and I mean really, turned me off. Oh, really? Okay, you said Hercules, Slimes, Black Knights, Abyss Order, Spectres, Samurai Thieves. I'm going to say this for me, Carp. From when the last time I played the game, from the last time I played the game, that was all I remember it being, was Hercules and Slimes. I didn't see anything with Black Knights. I didn't see anything with the Abyss Order. I didn't see anything with Spectres, Samurais, and Thieves. I didn't see any of this stuff. But from when the last time I played the game, it had at least been like, what, a year or two ago since, like, really I started to play it for like a couple weeks to a month, maybe. And I say maybe. But from that point, that was when I was like, you know what, I'm just tired of playing it. And I still feel that way. And yeah, I still feel that way. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that personally. But what now? I'm gonna say this before I actually go on ahead and read what this whole tweet thing's about. The one thing I really did like the most, and this would turn me off a lot with Genshin, because it made it so fucking grind heavy to where it made me want to turn this off. When you go to specific towers in Genshin in order to basically make it as a waypoint, you basically had to get certain materials in order to do that. For me personally, considering I didn't know about where the materials were, who did what dropped what, this just made me turn it all the way the fuck off. And that made me turn it off. And for you to really have it be difficult to do co-op with people, that also made me turn it off. Because it's like, yo, as you have a big ass fucking world, Why is it so damn difficult? At least at that time when I was playing, I don't know how it is now. At that time when I was playing, I'm like, why the fuck is it such a mystery to try to get into co-op with people? For me, that's how it was. And I wasn't a fan. So, now, let's get to this whole thing with Tower Fantasy. Those were the cons that I mentioned. By the way, Tower Fantasy practically addressed that when it went to the co-op. When it goes to the co-op, it's easy to do. You basically just you're in the same channel with someone. You go ahead and invite them. You're a friend. You bring them into the game. Hi, mom. Hi, Fuyu's mom. But basically, it's just real simple shit. You know, you bring them into the game. You're friends with them. Come on in. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's simple. It's simple stuff. I'm gonna start reading this off now. Oh, and also when it goes to the teleporters, you basically just walk right to the area where the teleporter is, and there you go. You have it unlocked. There's no requirements or anything like that. So let's get to it because I wasted enough time. Tower Fantasy: plagiarism, fake government IDs, infinite pulls, fake reviews, and more plagiarisms. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not gonna give you a fake review. But let's go ahead and talk about this. During Tower Fantasy's closed, I guess, CN beta, which is what? Breath of the Wild Shrines? Yeah, basically. During Tower Fantasy CN beta, I guess it's closed beta. Closed beta and release, the game became incredibly controversial due to a series of scandals ranging from hilarious to very, very bad. And this is a thread of 14. Wow. Disclaimer, this is not meant to dissuade you from playing the game. These stories have been all over Reddit the past few months, but very little made it over to Twitter, which is why I'm sharing it. After dubbing itself the Genshin Killer, Tower Fantasy proceeds to use an asset from another MiHoYo game, which is Honkai Impact 3, in one of their trailers. Tower Fantasy claims they outsourced the PV to another company that then stole the assets. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. We're going to check this out. The team behind Tower Fantasy has issued an apology after they were caught using the assets from Honkai Impact 3, upsetting many fans. So basically, people were not happy that they took the third sacred relic, which is a weapon used by Raiden Mei, where you see it in one of the characters in their trailer. But in the game, when you play it now, you will not see that weapon. So they did remove it. So there's that, which is understandable. Fans got a right to be mad with that. But there's more to it apparently that goes with this whole thing with Tower Fantasy. Plagiarism seems to be a pattern. Here are other cases people have noticed. An insignia from Rainbow Six. Wow. I want to check this shit out. If I can see it. Please be careful with Tower Fantasy. An ex-player of an old game of theirs showed this. I do not trust Perfect World Games, and I want to warn people about my experience with one of their games, where to this day they still rip off models. Do not apologize to them for the stolen model in Tower Fantasy, as they will keep stealing work from others while pushing no updates, bug fixes in games for years. I just learned today that it is a company of a game I used to play. They're a very shady company, always using subordinate companies to not ruin their reputation directly. I used to play their game back in 13, then for years called Touch. Touch is a K-pop rhythm game. I spent over $500 in this game and did not get any proper updates besides new gacha eggs and top-up events in years. First off, I'm going to say this right now. That's your fault. That's your fault. You spent $500 on a fucking video game, when that $500 could have went completely elsewhere. The fact you chose to do that, I'm sorry, but that's one time I'm not going to blame the company. That's your fucking fault for sitting up there and doing that. You knew like you put your expectations way too heavy on this company. You spent $500 on this game and did not get any proper updates besides new gacha eggs, top-up events in years, no adding of new songs in 3 or more years, and for their outfits they rip off clothes from many games and artists while recoloring them very badly. Stealing models is a common practice. Common practice, I guess that's what you meant to say. Looks at Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, hell, and in some cases, shit, I can really say the same thing with a couple other games that went the Monster Hunter route. We could say the same thing with Dauntless. We could say the same thing with Tokiden, and with how they handled some shit. You can find ripped off clothes from Shining Nikki. I even found a thread about this, or even Felix from ReZero clothes for a female character. Basically everything with very bad recoloring. The game still functions in China. As for international servers, there's only one left. As for Chinese versions, there's 7K, Touch 43.99, and Touch Wanmei. I bought over $100 of DLC on Monster Hunter Rise. But here's the deal though, Chogo. Again, like I said, you knew what to expect. Especially out of Capcom. Capcom does this. I know they do this. But you knew what to expect out of them. I'm sorry, people. I need to call it 100. If you are spending money, whether it's cosmetics, whether it's music, whatever it is, you are responsible, not the company. I do not care how pissed off you get. I do not care. From 3 various international... You know, I'm not going to read any of this because it's too much. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to read any of this. But right now, what made me want to stop reading is the fact that dude really sat up there and was like, well, I spent $500. I mean, what can you expect? What do you expect? I'm not going to act innocent, because trust me, I've done that plenty of times where I spent money either on a company. Hell, I have a PlayStation 5. I spent $500 on this shit thinking, okay, I'm expecting some good games. So far, the only thing my PlayStation 5 is doing is collecting dust, while I'm still sitting up there playing on my Nintendo Switch, playing on my PC. And if you're talking about other things, yes, I've definitely spent money on gaming, especially gacha games. I spent at least, if I had to say, $80 maybe on Honkai, because I wanted specific characters. I wanted Heresy of Sentience. I wanted Heresy of Flame Sion. I wanted Heresy of Thunder. And I got all 3 of them. And I'm happy with their purchase because I love how they play. But at the same time, it's the fact that I did that. Look, I'm well aware of what the fuck I'm getting myself into. Alright, so we have another thing right here. An animator also called out the devs for plagiarizing one of their animations for a PV. Here's their tweet about it, alongside with side-by-side comparisons of the 2 videos. It's pretty damn blatant. Alright, let's take a look. A Chinese major game, perfect world smartphone game I was contacted, closely resembles Hooray as a concept video. We are small and we can't do anything for this company. I made a comparison so that at least many people would know. 20 seconds. From 20 seconds in. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wow. They're not even hiding it, bro. They're not even hiding it. I'll show you in a bit.
Bro, y'all not even trying. Oh my god, bro. Dude. I'm sorry. I gotta tell you this before I go ahead and read off on when this was created. Yo, if I'm the anime team for this, on the right side, I'm suing the fuck out of you. I'm suing you. Basically, this is straight. Hold up. Like, I have to do this. I have to do this.
He copied my whole fucking flow.
Oh,
word for word,
shit.
bar for bar.
Oh,
Don't act like I didn't.
That's literally what this anime company, can sit up there and say if they decide to take them for court. It'll be like, yo, y'all took everything from me. Y'all definitely pulled a fucking Kakashi. Y'all took my whole jutsu, bro. My whole jutsu. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, Fuyu, hold your comment on this. Hold your comment on that. On if you want to or not. Hold your comment. Because I definitely have some things I do want to say with this. When I'm done reading the whole thread. And, of course, I'm going to give my own personal thoughts in the game. Because, my God, wow. Oh my God, we're good. I'll be honest. Even with me giving my whole thoughts on this, I'm very conflicted. But okay, so here it is right here. Fake reviews, as if that wasn't enough plagiarism. Tower Fantasy was also caught pasting 5-star reviews of Genshin Impact into their own game. Oh, I've seen this before. This is not new to me. Not that one, but I've seen that before, where people would sit up there, take a website, or take whatever it was from a website, take their reviews, paste it onto their own, and be like, and try to promote their own shit. So one of these is probably, I don't know if one of these are I don't know if this is true side by side, but oh man. Okay. I wish I had the I wish there was the Genshin comparison, where one would be, okay, this one's Genshin and the other one would be, this one's Tower Fantasy, but you're not giving me much here to go off of. So let's see. That's crazy, bro. That's actually fucking nutty to me. Okay, so here's one thing. Infinite polls after a Chinese release. I guess that's what the CN means, a Chinese release. After the Chinese... By the way, Carp, this was made on August 11th. So this is 5 days before we started this whole stream. That's when I happened to catch this. I happened to catch this 2 days later. Because that was when I made the post. So that was very interesting. Okay, so here it is right here. Infinite polls after the Chinese release. People found out that if you turned off Wi-Fi during a poll, it wouldn't count. which would allow for infinite rerolls. They patched that. This was patched, and players were compensated with free pulls until people found out that you could turn off Wi-Fi and duplicate compensation for infinite pulls. Then they found a bug where you could duplicate everything. Wow. 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 Man, wow. Bro, Honkai didn't have this issue. I guarantee you Honkai didn't have this issue. Genshin didn't have this issue. Punishing Grey Raven did not have this issue when it came out for the global release. Wow. Wow. Jesus Christ. The Mega Man game, that didn't have this problem, I bet you. Now, to be clear, gacha games are often bug on release no matter how throughout the beta. Most major issues with Tower of Fantasy have been fixed for the global release. It's funny, though. It's just funny, though. But fake IDs, to play the Chinese beta test in the PC client, you needed a Chinese ID to sign up. So Chinese players thought it was weird when they noticed a lot of players with Russian and Spanish names. Wow. Apparently someone affiliated with Perfect World Games passed around fake Chinese IDs, reportedly including IDs from people who went missing in a 2017 landslide, which is how people outside of China got into the Chinese beta. Wow, Jesus Christ. A more organized video recap of this is here, along with a written recap. So there's that. Okay, so of course we're now on to the end of the thread where it says this. Note that this isn't uncommon behavior, and many players trying to play on Chinese servers use these methods to get in. Although more people verify their identities via Bilibili now, it's just that usually people affiliated with the devs don't explicitly promote this. And that's it. This is truly not the worst thing a game developer has ever done. So if you like the game, feel free to keep playing. I just compiled some sources since it seems like this isn't all common knowledge here. Want to add this now that the thread has blown up and I've read the responses. This thread is not about Genshin. Two things can be bad at once. You can play or drop in a game you like. I don't want to cancel Tower of Fantasy. I just want people to be informed consumers. I also want to be clear that Tower of Fantasy's plagiarism is qualitatively, I don't know how to pronounce this. But Tower of Fantasy's plagiarism is different from taking inspiration from other games, which is fine. Assets taken straight from other games have appeared in Tower of Fantasy's promotional material, and an entire PV was copied and or traced. Nothing to promote. Companies are your friends. Be a conscious consumer and only spend within your means. Now, that's the whole thread. I'm going to give my thoughts on this really as best I can for a pros and cons kind of thing. We're going to start with the cons with this. Tower of Fantasy taking direct shit from what you saw with the animated stuff. Honestly, like I said, if I'm that animated company, I'm suing Perfect World Games for every bit of money they fucking had off that PV trailer, or any bit of money they had, period. Because you're not just gonna straight up sit up there, take my whole thing, run with it just to promote your game. That's a problem. And apparently, if I'm Rainbow Six, I don't know if they took that off. And I did point this out, they actually kept this in the game. An insignia from Rainbow Six. If I'm Ubisoft, and I hate Ubisoft to death, I'm suing you for that. Or if not, I'm gonna put down a whatever it is that's needed for them to change that logo. I'm making sure you change that. And of course, they did take the 50% EXP chip asset from Honkai. I actually said this the first time I played the game. I said this right to Jerry Bear Traveler, and I was like, bro, they took this shit directly from fucking Honkai. The XP chip, I saw that from Honkai. I didn't see it from anywhere else. So, yeah, and they have yet to change that. In fact, I can probably go into the game and you'll see it. And then I'll go right to Honkai, you'll see it. You'll see the comparison right there. So, yeah, it's the little shit that they're taking where I can understand people would have their frustrations with. You know, you're taking logos, you're taking animated stuff. I definitely understand the frustration there. But what's crazy is, as far as the gameplay goes, the gameplay couldn't be any different. The gameplay is way different, at least compared to the stuff they've put out aside from the gameplay, which is so fucking crazy. I'm trying to think of what else I can really say with all this. The way how I feel with all this when it goes to this game is, look, so far I have not spent any money on this game. Not 1 cent has gone into this game. And to be quite honest with you, it probably won't until this company shows that they have stopped the stealing ways. Until they have actually sits up there and make their own original material, I can't in good conscience say that it's okay to put money into them. Now, that's just me. What you missed, Choco, was that I read the last of what there was. Read the last of this thread where this person gave his final thoughts on this whole thing when it went to the someone affiliated with Perfect World Games. They passed around fake IDs. There was a video highlighting this. Here's how I really feel with this whole thing. A lot of this, it's bad. It's bad to a point where I have to really say this in all honesty. I'm not putting money into this game. I'm not putting money into the company until they have shown otherwise. Playing the game and having fun, that's all well and great. But as far as putting money in, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it until they show otherwise. And even then, hopefully I won't have to do it at all, depending on my luck. Because if I get the character I'm looking for, I'm definitely not putting money into the game. But right, Carp. It's not gonna stop me from playing it. I'ma still play the game. I'm still having fun with the game. But regardless of me having fun with the game, you have to be realistic. I have to call this out as it is. This is not okay. There's a lot of controversy. This whole controversy. This was what, a 14 comment thread on all of this that happened with them. And from how I see it, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, here's the deal. People want to say, well, what's different compared to Genshin sitting up there and quote-unquote taking stuff? Here's the deal. Genshin, they blatantly said they were inspired by Breath of the Wild. So, we knew what to expect coming from them. We knew that heading into Genshin Impact that, yeah, go ahead. What about the cheaters? As you go ahead and point this out, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Here's the deal when it goes to Genshin Impact. This is why it slightly gets a pass here. Is MiHoYo has practically said this the whole time where he said they were inspired by Breath of the Wild. They didn't come in with the intention to take over from Breath of the Wild. They didn't come in with the intention to fully take everything. But here's also how I see this. This is not new to me because every game is gonna take some bit and some bits and pieces from a specific game. This is not new to me. Honkai, Genshin, Punishing Gray Raven, and a few upcoming games have already done this, where people love Virgil so much from Devil May Cry. They love his moveset with the Yamato so fucking much that practically 5, 6, 7, 8 characters are out here doing judgment cuts. Capcom can fuck around, sit up here, and strike everybody that sat up there and did that. And be like, nah, bro, I don't like the fact that all your characters, every last one of y'all characters out here, practically doing Virgil shit. I mean, let me go ahead and list them off. You have the Frozen Sakura. I forgot her first person name. You have the Sakura girl. You have the Frozen Sakura girl from Honkai. You have Lucia Alpha. You have Lucia Alpha from Punishing Gray Raven, literally doing Virgil-esque moves. You have, I think you have two players, two girls from Genshin. And I don't think Kaching is one of them. Is one of their characters that do this. One of her characters sits up there. She does like a mini judgment cut, and it's whatever. She does that. I mean, look, this is not new to me. It's not new to me to take gameplay assets. But what kind of is new to me is you're taking assets aside from the gaming. And the thing is, though, that's more of a problem than just say, oh, okay, you're going into a game and, you know, oh, okay, we know this girl is such and such, you know, she's doing these kind of moves. Hell, let me go ahead and tell you, even in Tower of Fantasy, they basically got their own Virgil character. Literally, there's like 5, 6, 7, 8 games so far of gacha girls, gacha boys that's out here doing Virgil's moves. So again, that's not new to me. And people are upset with some of the Honkai assets that they took. Here's the deal, and here's how I see it. Again, this is not new to me. Let me put it like this. This happens even in sports games that I play. Even in sports games that I play, such as right now with Madden 23. I'm going to take Madden 23 for an example, right? The game just came out. With Madden 23, they basically got it so that you can direct your passes anywhere you want to on any portion of the field. So, this is not new. This is not new. It's not new because I remember a old Xbox game called NFL Fever 2004, better yet, all of NFL Fever in general, where they had this exact feature built into the game. It was built into the game back in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. And Madden's just now deciding to take that feature and put it into their game. Not once, but twice. They had it in Madden 18, but it couldn't work out right. They revamped it in Madden 23. So, yes, as far as that goes with taking assets from taking some bit of assets from a particular game and putting them in there, that's not new. My thing is, as long as it's bits and pieces and not the whole thing. But aside from this whole thread, this still goes to what I said earlier. This is not going to stop me from playing the game. Why? Because this does, not only this does a lot of things right compared to Genshin, but for me personally, playing this game is just a lot of fun, and you actually get rewarded. At least I feel this way. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually rewarded for having to play the game for as long as I have. At least I feel this way. The in-game stuff, the in-game currency that you get it when you play the game. They get it in two forms. They have black nucleus and they have gold nucleus. The only thing you can't get in the game entirely while you're playing, that's the red nucleus. You have to get it under a different way. But as far as that goes, this game's giving me good reason to want to keep playing it. I'm having fun with it. Oh, and also, I love this for a fact. This is something really cool. This is something Genshin has not done. Punishing Grey Raven or whatever witch. Even the upcoming games has not done this yet. So, say you like a specific anime character or whatever, right? Basically, if the community has done it already, you can play as that character. So, yes, there's PvP in the game, but I will tell you this: the PvP is a bit of a double-edged sword to me. In fact, I'll take that back. It's a bit of a con to me. I don't necessarily like the PvP because it's a little buggy to me. Then again, I'm not surprised because I don't know how it was in Genshin, but for me, even when I slightly did Genshin PvP for a little bit, it was somewhat the same way. Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about it. But yeah, I'm not too thrilled about Tower Fantasy's little PvP so far. They need to work on it a little bit. But I'm going to tell you the pros of what Tower Fantasy has given, and I'm going to give you the cons. And the cons is real easy shit. The pros with Tower Fantasy is it's really easy to get where you want to go in the game. Despite it being a big-ass area, you can easily get to where you really want to go. The towers that you activate in there, you heard me mention it earlier, I will mention it again. You just run into the towers, you press the button, or better, you just run into it, period, and you automatically unlock the tower. That's it. There's no materials, there's no other form of grinding that you have to do to unlock it entirely compared to Genshin, which was the main problem. Which is why I really didn't like it. The scaling is, I don't know about y'all, but I kind of like the scaling to where when you level up, the enemies will level up with you. I like that to where it doesn't necessarily make it feel all too stale. So basically, you can go back at the beginner level, and the beginner level enemies will raise up to your level. This goes for anybody. Doesn't matter. You will fight the enemies the same way that you fought them at level 1. They'll just have a little bit more health, and it is what it is. It's how you deal with it. I did say it was easy to reward with the materials. I would say this. The characters, for me, at least so far, I love their gear. I love the gear. I love the fact that you don't have to necessarily, if you don't want to play with the character entirely, if you don't like how they look, you could just stick with your character. You don't have to really play as them. Why? Because the characters that you get, you're basically getting their weapons. That's it. So the one girl I do like so far that I just picked up, I picked up this girl that loves to handle pistols, but say I don't like her design, I don't have to use her design. I could just use my character's design that's already in the game and be like, alright, cool, I'm using this girl's pistols I picked up, but with another girl's outfit or with my own outfit. So I love how they did that. Instead of the whole swap feature that Honkai, Genshin, and Punishing Grey Raven did, I love that they chose to do this instead. Playing with people is actually a lot more easier in this game, in my opinion, than it is in Honkai and in Genshin and in Punishing Grey Raven. So if y'all know, in Honkai and Punishing Grey Raven, you have to form up in a team of 3 in order to play together. You have to form up like that. And it has to be from a specific, like, say, setting or button or whatever which. That's not the case in this game. In this game, you team up with a party of 4. You team up with a party of 4, and it's real easy to do. Basically, from what I know, at least I haven't tested this out yet. From what Preacher told me, Preacher of Valor, shout out to him. What he told me is that it doesn't matter what server in particular that you're in. Particularly, we're both in a North American server, but we're in different kinds of it. So, okay, we're in North America, and say I'm on the Solaris North America server, and he's in, say, whatever North American server he's in. According to him, it doesn't matter what server you're in because you can still play with one another. You just won't be able to, like, see one another, if that makes sense. I guess if that's how he puts it. I will have to find out and test it out for myself, but for the time being, off of his word, I'm gonna go ahead and accept that until I do it for myself. I need to see and find out. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the game's fun. I like playing the game. I like playing it more than I ever did when it went to Genshin. I didn't go that far in Genshin because the game practically bored me, but this one, it hasn't necessarily bored me. I mean, you can use a machine gun, you can use a sword, you can use a scythe. You can use a scythe, a flaming scythe. You can use dual pistols. You could use why my nose keep fucking up? You can use more things, basically. But right now, I'm just happy with it. That's my pros of the game. Now, here are my cons of the game. I'm about to turn my light on as I see this because I see my room is starting to get a little bit more darker. My cons of the game is this, particularly when it goes to PC and maybe mobile. I can't speak for mobile because I haven't necessarily done it on mobile, but I can speak for this on PC. My problem with this on PC, because I use a controller, my problems with this on PC is the simple fact that the UI for the game, it's very confusing. Not only is it confusing, I don't like how they place specific buttons on the controller. Now, I'm sure you can probably change it, and so far I'm getting a little used to it. But it's because of how the UI is and because of how they set their controller up, it throws me off a little. I really don't like how they did it. I also don't like the fact that when it goes to quick time events, it doesn't fully show up with the controller buttons. You know what I mean? It shows up with the PC buttons, and what I have to do, it doesn't fully show up with the with the controller buttons, and what I have to do is I have to use my keyboard to press that specific buttons to get through that quick time event. So as far as the controls go, it's hit or miss. They have to really, really work on that when it goes to the controls. Another con of mine. This is where you can kind of get lost, and for me, I didn't find this out till way later. Basically, I didn't really find out about the upgrading process, with how upgrading weapons, how upgrading armor goes up until way later of the game. See, for me, thank God I have people that play this game religiously, because I know this for a fact. If I was playing this by myself, especially with how upgrading goes, I'd be in a bit of trouble. Because I wouldn't exactly know how to upgrade my health, how to upgrade my weapons, how to do this, or how to do that. But there's that. And also, so far, the story with Tower Fantasy is a little boring. At least when it goes to the cutscenes. For me right now, it's a little boring, but after a little while, when you continue to play, it'll start to get just a bit interesting, but we'll have to see. I'll have to see for myself a little later on. Now, would I recommend you play this game? despite the controversy that this has come about with all of this, I'm still gonna say go ahead and play this game. At least give it a shot. See how you feel with it. It's like I tell people all the time, you can't get mad at a free game. Even with its controversy, here's the deal. If you don't like it, then you can just drop it. It's pretty easy to drop a free game. It's not a problem. But right now, I would say try this out. Now, if you had some gripes with Genshin, and then you're coming over from this game probably addressed those gripes, but then you'll see those gripes that come up with this game that you'll see Genshin addressed. So, yeah, it's how you feel with it. Yeah, aside from that, I don't think there's much else I can really say when it goes to Tower of Fantasy. Now, if there's any comments that y'all have to put up with Tower of Fantasy, by all means, go ahead and have at it. Now, maybe you're conflicted. Maybe you're not conflicted. Phantoms, how do you guys feel with this game? By the way, Eagles, I did see your comment, but I had to address this first. How are you doing? And that is the wrong command. I'm going to see if I can help you with the right command. This is what it should be looking like. If it'll show up. Oh. Another one would be this one. But yeah, basically so far there's that. That's how I feel with Tower of Fantasy so far. I'm happy with the game. So, but while I'm happy with the game, I'm not gonna put money into it. At least not till they change their ways. Now, as you guys go ahead and give your thoughts on the game, if at all possible, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the NFL schedules, or better yet, the divisions. I'm gonna pull up the NFL divisions real quick and see if I can find their schedules. When is the line cross between passion from inspiration and copy and pasting? For me, that line was crossed when it goes to stuff outside of the game. And even then, because here's the deal, I've seen this too much from inside the game where people are going to sit up there and copy specific stuff from other competitors inside the game. I've seen this too much. I've even seen this with shooters. This is literally not new to me. I mean, we compare fucking Paladins to Overwatch. We compare Paladins to Overwatch. We compare Battlefield to Call of Duty. We compared football games. We compared fighting games. We compared whatever there is to compare with one another. So for me, in the game, it's literally not new. It's the stuff outside of the work that makes me wonder, like, I'm not too thrilled about it. Carp says, so let's say this. Okay, go ahead. As I go ahead and pull up the NFL divisions here, I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Now, reminder, like I told y'all, I'm going to go ahead and do the NFC side, and then after that, we'll go ahead and talk about what y'all want to do. Don't know if you have Noel, but server for animations borrow from 2B from near. Again. Not surprised. I mean, shit. All Genshin did was sit up there and take specific stuff from games. People didn't bat an eye in because they already knew. I mean, hell, let's take Honkai. Let's go back to Honkai for a little bit, okay, Carp? There's one guy in Honkai that you can actually play as. It's the main character from the post-Honkai Odyssey. Literally, you can look at his moveset. On another note, like you said before, there's a lot borrowing from Virgil Judgment Cut. which is worse? Honestly, I'd have to make a case and say I would have to make a case and say that the whole judgment cut shit is worse because a lot of characters do it. A lot do it. So instead of it being a unique thing anymore, it's not unique because it's all everyone does. Almost every character that you're gonna run across aside from Virgil is gonna do. They're gonna do a fucking judgment cut. Like, there's too many. There's too many. Too many. Like hell, that whole thing with 2B, that's fine. That's one fucking character, but it's the fact that there's too many characters. In the case of Virgil, is that really inspiration, or is that just straight taking shit just to be lazy? I mean, wrong game apparently. Well, not the wrong game, but it's the right game. Who am I kidding? Devil May Cry is almost always the right game. But my thing is though, look, even got Raiden Shogun doing it. This is from a boss fight, but still, you even got Raiden Shogun doing it. Is that not just recut?
Without yearning, all returns to silence.
We have a whole 9-minute video of Genshin practically taking shit from DMC. So, I'll let y'all take that for what it is. We can go from, yeah, we have Griffin here. So we can go ahead and go from there. Then you got the Knight Rider here from, of course, this girl that we know of. We got Fisher here. Just straight taking shit. Now, mind you, inspiration from Legend of Zelda, right? When it went to Genshin. It's not just Legend of Zelda. Apparently, it's Legend of Zelda and it's fucking DMC. I'm not surprised with the DMC one because of course they did this. So they're very inspired by what Capcom does when it goes to DMC. We even got some moves with Nero. That's a far-fetched case? Okay. But what about Razor? I like Razor, by the way. I would say more so DMC4 Nero. I'm gonna say DMC4 Nero. Yeah, there you go. I'm like, that's DMC4 Nero. Okay. Close, but I can't quite say that one with the Call and Thunder one. But inspiration. Anyway, my thing is, I'll leave this to you guys of how you feel with it, for not only when it goes to Tower of Fantasy, but when it goes to Genshin and how they both handle some things. Now, it's like I said, I will say this again. Literally, this whole video is a prime example. In game, I do not care. Because this happens so many times in game where people are going to take shit from people. And it's not new to me. But outside of it, that's kind of crossing the line. But will I still say support them? I need to see what they got. I need to see what the creators of Tower of Fantasy are doing before I even think about putting money into them. So, on that note, let's go ahead and talk about some football, shall we? So, I don't even know if do I have my football command? No, I don't have my football command. I don't care. I'll port it over. It's not new to me. So, this is a portion of the stream where, of course, I saved this to the end because I know not everybody is all sports heavy. So this is where we're going to be talking about some football. We're going to be talking about some NFL. I'm going to be giving my season predictions for at least as many of the divisions as I possibly can. Right now, I'm going to be starting on the NFC side. Next week, when I do another episode of Lightning Round, I'm going to do the AFC side. If I have anything else to talk about it, I will talk about it. But for the time being, the AFC side is probably going to kick off. Going to be the main topic of discussion for our next episode. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for these teams, if at all possible. Alright, so I'm going to do the NFC side, and we're going to start with the Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles, and the Commanders, the NFC East. Then after that, we'll go to the next four, and then the next four, and then the next four. And then we'll give our bets on who's going to win, who's not going to win. Alright. Who's going to win the division, and who's not going to win the division but possibly make the playoffs. So, I want y'all to go ahead and keep track with me with how many wins and how many losses I will give these teams. And I'll try to keep it as realistic as possible. Not including preseason, because preseason does not count. So, Buccaneers versus the Cowboys is gonna be the first game of the season for Dallas, and I gotta tell you, that's a tough ass matchup to come up against. And by the way, whichever one I give here for a W and L, I want you to, if you guys can, if possible, I want y'all to keep this in memory for the teams that we're doing this for. So, if you have it as this, NFC East, NFC South, say if it's Buccaneers, Cowboys, and okay, Buccaneers win, then have it as 1-0 Buccaneers, and have it as 0-1 Cowboys, which is exactly what I'm going to see this as. I see the Buccaneers actually beating the Cowboys here because, let's be honest, the Cowboys are not going to be off to a very good start to begin the season. They have lost a couple players. They lost a couple players heading into this game. They lost one of their wide receivers for a little bit. Now, that may not mean too much, but in the case of Dak Prescott for the time being, that will mean a lot. Now, they didn't lose CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is still there. He's going to be the number one guy for the Cowboys. He's probably going to go off. I see it coming because he's gone off the past couple years, and he's shown that he's ready to take that mantle as the number one wideout. But as far as losing some key talent on that end, y'all lost some bit on defense. Y'all lost Randy Gregory. They lost him. Now, here's the deal. I will say it's not as clear cut and dry. The more that I think about it, it's not that clear cut and dry. You want to know why I say that? Because the Buccaneers also lost some key players on their side as well. They got 3 of their offensive linemen hurt as far as I remember. I don't know if any of those 3 has actually recovered, but at least for the time being, they lost some key guys. So it's not as clear cut and dry, but I still see Buccaneers actually pulling this out and winning the game just off of one reason and one reason alone. Tom Brady. I literally see this coming as Tom Brady being the reason for the Cowboys losing this game. And if not him, then I see, of course, I see Cowboys doing Cowboys things where you let either clock management get in your way, or you have Mike McCarthy sitting up there being a dickhead when he shouldn't. So for me, it's things like that kind of set up what the season may or may not be like for the Cowboys. Usually 75% of the time it does. So yeah, for the time being, I see the Buccaneers pulling out this game. I see them winning this game. So I see 1-0 Tampa Bay. I'm going to actually update this. I'm going to go ahead and do this as I can. I'm going to actually have it myself for my prediction schedule. Hold up. I can put it in Sports Zone. I'm going to actually make it right now as I go. Okay, Dallas 0-1 for the NFC East. I'm going to have it as that. NFC South. I know I should have properly prepared for this, guys. My apologies for that. Tampa Bay 1-0. So that's how I see this playing out. I see Tampa Bay winning, probably with a tight score. If I had to say, 27-24. I see them winning by game-winning field goal or some crazy shit like that, because Tom Brady's gonna Tom Brady. Okay, so next we have the Bengals and the Cowboys. That may or may not be a tough game, because you're facing the Bengals, which did address their biggest issue, even from last year. Their biggest issue was that they could not protect worth a lick, but somehow they still got into the fucking Super Bowl. Now it's this time with a better line, they might be able to protect a little bit more. But here's the deal, though, that I want people to understand. That Cowboys defense is no fucking joke. And I'll be honest, something screamed at me that when Dan Quinn got over there, that he was going to instantly make that defense better than it was a couple years ago, like when he wasn't there, when he was the head coach of the Falcons. Dan Quinn, I hope at some point he needs to understand. Your best work is you as a defensive coordinator, not you as a head coach, because he's did this with the Seahawks where he was DC, and now he's doing this with Dallas. So with him, if I was him, I would not personally. I just wouldn't quit being a defensive coordinator, no matter who it's for. Bengals, Cowboys. Depending on how that'll go, I don't know. That's a bit of a toss-up. But here's the thing. I'm gonna actually give Dallas this game. I'm gonna give Dallas this game only because of the fact that I don't know how well protected. I don't know how good that line is, and I feel like that Cowboys defense, they're gonna make a statement. If it's not gonna be against Tom Brady, it's gonna come at the expense of the Bengals along with Joe Burrow. Now, that's not to say that the Bengals aren't going to get their plays in. They're going to get their plays in. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. He's going to make life a living hell, particularly for Trayvon Diggs, who I'm going to feel sorry for. Slightly. And I say slightly because this is still the same fucking cornerback that somehow gave up 1,000 yards and still made All-Pro. I've never seen that happen before. How do you give up 1,000 yards as a cornerback and made All-Pro? But yeah, this is where I see the Cowboys winning this game. I see them winning with a score of, I would say, 34-27, if that makes sense. It's crazy. I see them putting up 30 points. But yeah, that's probably one game where I see this coming out. Maybe that's me giving them too much credit, but hey, we'll see. Dallas offense is good, but
they're inconsistent. That's the problem with them. They've always been weirdly inconsistent at times when they shouldn't be. Next we have the Cowboys and the Giants. I know where this is gonna go. Cowboys, they're gonna win this game. Why? Because the Giants is straight hot dog water. Let's keep it 100. Let's not be nice, okay? The Cowboys are gonna win this game because the Giants, I know they buffed up their team a little. They had a great draft, but we do not know what that draft class can do, nor do we know how improved Daniel Jones is. As far as I'm concerned, Daniel Jones coming into the season probably didn't improve at all. But we will not know that. We will not know that until it happens. If he's truly improved, if he truly improved as a quarterback, but if he's improved, like, not just him passing the ball, but of course his awareness, we have to really see what he can do. Commanders versus Cowboys, that might actually be a slightly tough game. Only because of the fact that the Commanders defense, I understand Cowboys fans are going to come into my mentions being like, well, what you mean? We've taken out the Commanders plenty of times. And the way how I see this is, I feel like this is going to be one of these years with Dallas where they're not going to be outright sweeping everyone. They're going to end up taking some L's. And this might come as this year where they're going to take some L's in their division. They're not going to end up sweeping everybody like they did a year ago. They're going to end up taking some L's. So, yeah, this is where this is the first divisional game where I see them taking an L to. Is going to be against the Commanders. I feel like the Commanders defense, they're going to give some problems for Dak this time around, but we will see. But also their offense did improve a little. I say a little because they did get some good pickups. And I say a little because only not a lot. I say a little only because they have some good pieces on offense. The only questionable mark is, of course, Carson Wentz, who we're going to get to in a little bit. We're going to talk about Carson Wentz in a little bit. Commanders, they're going to beat them. Dallas is going to start the season at 500. Basically, they're going to go 2-2 to start the season. They lose against the Bucks. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Giants. But they lose to the Commanders. So that's 2-2. Cowboys and the Rams, that's an L. Next. That's an L. I understand the Rams have not signed Odell Beckham Jr., but if they do happen to sign him, and I know he isn't entirely a big factor of their offense, but just having them there would pretty much solidify that L. Okay, so Cowboys and Eagles. Cowboys fans, this is where you're probably either going to suffer your biggest L, well, not your biggest L, but your second L on the season, or you might get another W. Now, here's why I say this. This is not going to be as clear-cut dry as y'all may think it is. Again, I need to say this. Because if y'all have not caught up with the Philadelphia Eagles this season, they have made big strides to catch up with the Dallas Cowboys. You could damn near say they're almost neck and neck. And I say almost. The only thing that makes them different right now when it goes to this season is the quarterback. We need to see if Jalen Hurts has made his improvement and he's going to become the biggest story this season. Is, can Jalen Hurts take that big leap this season? So, do I think that the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles again? Or do I think the Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys? This is going to be me keeping it as real as I can fucking get. This is one time where I actually do see the Eagles beating them this time around.
They're not gonna sweep the Cowboys are not gonna sweep the Eagles this year. The reason why I feel like this is because the Eagles, they're too talented to just sit up there and let Dallas walk all over them again. Way too talented. And on top of that, they're at home. The Eagles are at home. So this is going to be another situation where the Cowboys, they're going to have a slightly rough start to the season. So they're going to go 2-4. I will say this. They're going to lose to the Rams. They're going to lose to the Eagles. But they are going to bounce back against the Lions. I see the Lions losing to the Cowboys. They're going to go 3-4. The Bears, I see them beating the Bears. They're going to go 4-4. So they're going to win 2 straight. But this next game is probably going to be their toughest game yet. They're going to be going up against Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers is in for that game, we do not know from here to here, because I noticed with Aaron Rodgers for a fact, the motherfucker tends to get hurt. But if Aaron Rodgers is in this game, L. Because if there's one thing I know about Aaron Rodgers and the Dallas Cowboys, it's this. Aaron Rodgers owns the Cowboys like how he practically owns the NFC North. If he wants to make the Cowboys a maid or makes them their bitch, he will do it. And he has the setup to do so. But this is why I say this is probably the biggest test for the Cowboys, is because this is going to determine for the Cowboys if they can really get over the hump with Dak Prescott or not. That's why I say that. Because if they can't do it, it is what it is. They know what they have to do next. They have to start thinking about their future without Dak. And that's how I feel. That's what I think they should do. This game is going to be their test. Now, after that, they got the Vikings. The Vikings, they've slightly improved they slightly improved as a team. But the way how I see it is they're probably going to go. It's crazy because I feel like the Cowboys, this is so crazy for them. The Cowboys are going to still be 500, at least if I'm correct with having to read all this. They lose to the Buccaneers. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Giants. I'm sorry. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Giants. They lose to the Commanders. I'm sorry, they beat the Commanders. I don't know. Damn, I'm probably getting shit mixed up. They beat the Buccaneers. They beat the Bengals. They lose to the Giants. I think they said they lose to the Commanders, I believe. No, I'll take that back. They're going to beat the Commanders. I think they said, yeah, they're going to beat the Commanders. They're going to definitely lose to the Rams. I said that. The Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys. I said that. Damn, that's like, yeah. All I know is this, they're probably 5-5. They're probably 5-5. I have to keep up because it's hard for me to really keep up with all this. It's really just this game right here. It's this game. It's none of the other ones. It's this game. Because I know the Commanders have slightly improved a little. So they beat the Vikings. They're probably going to beat the Giants again. So they're going to sweep the Giants. So I'm going to say 6-5 for the time being. I'm going to come back to that Commanders one because I really don't know with that one. They're going to sweep the Giants. The Colts is probably going to be a slightly tough matchup, but I think they can handle it. So they're going to go 7-5 on the year. I can see that. The Texans, they're going to beat the Texans. They're going to go 8-5 on the year. The Jaguars, they're probably going to beat the Jaguars. They're going to go 9-5 on the year. the Cowboys and the Eagles are gonna meet up again. This is actually where I see the Cowboys splitting the series, so that they're gonna go 10-5. Cowboys versus Titans, that's gonna be a L because depending on the situation, depending on the Titans season, if the Titans end up resting starters, they're probably going to win the game if the Titans end up resting starters. But if they don't, it's probably going to be an L because King Henry ain't no fucking joke. This is despite them losing A.J. Brown. And, of course, Cowboys versus the Commanders. Again, that depends on the situation. But I see them going 10-7 if they're resting starters. It's probably going to be 10-7. It's just this one right here with them. Now, I believe I said they're gonna. I think they said they're gonna lose this game. I'm gonna take it as them going to lose this game. I think 10-7. That might be a little bit correct. Might be correct. Either 10-7, 10-8, whichever. Is there a 10-8? Let's see. Well, we'll have to find out. Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, so that's the Cowboys' record for me. They get 10 wins off this season. Their schedule's a little bit more easier. I understand there's a Bears. I understand that Bears have slightly improved, but not by much. The Packers are going to be the Packers. The Vikings, I like the Vikings, but I just don't think they have enough to beat Dallas. Texans is Garbo. Colts, in my opinion, I don't exactly trust the Colts. The Jaguars is Garbo, so that they get 2 easy wins just off the Jaguars and Texans alone. So there's that. Okay, so now we have the Eagles here. We have the Eagles coming up. Oh, I'm sorry, we have the Giants coming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the Giants. I already said they're gonna lose to Dallas, so that's already 0-1 on them. The Titans, they're gonna lose another one. King Henry's playing that game. Derrick Henry's playing that game. He's gonna run all over him, so that's already an L. Jets and Giants. I'm sorry, that's preseason. Panthers and Giants. That's still a tough one because I don't know exactly who's going to win between these two because these two are pretty much middle of the road teams. But if I had to pick one, I think this might be a game where the Giants is going to get their first win of the season. So they're going to go 1-1 on the year. Cowboys, I already said this, they're going to lose, so that's 1-2. The Bears and the Giants, I really do not know because both these teams are pretty damn mid. I know they made improvements, but until they show it otherwise, it's basically a mid-off for me right now when it goes to these two. But if I had to pick, I think the Giants are probably going to beat the Bears. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them 2-2. Giants, Packers, I already know where that's going. That's going to be an L, so 2-3. Ravens, Giants, that's probably going to be another L, but then again, you know what? Yeah, take that bet. It's going to be another L. Lamar Jackson's probably going to roast him alive, so that's 2-4. Giants, Jaguars. The Jaguars did improve. Make no mistake about it, people. The Jaguars improved their team, especially bringing in Doug Peterson. They definitely improved. But this might be another game where I see the Giants potentially losing here because of the Jaguars' improvement. Just off of having Doug Peterson alone and Trevor Lawrence having his improvement as a quarterback, I see them going 2-5 on the year. Talking about the Giants to start it off. So we got Giants Seahawks, and you know what? I'm gonna give that to the Giants. Only because I haven't necessarily seen what the Seahawks have, but what I see from the Seahawks right now is, again, just a lot of mid-as-fuck teams. I think the Seahawks are in a rebuilding phase. Texans, Giants. The Giants are going to win this game, so they're going to go 4-5. The Texans are straight up horrible. The Lions and the Giants, another fucking mid-off. God damn. Except this time, the Lions, I will say they do have they are a slightly better team than the Giants, so I'm gonna give it to them. 4-6 goes to Giants. Eagles, Giants, you know where that's going. That's 4-7. The Eagles have pretty much been washing the living hell out of the Giants, and that's gonna continue. So that's 4-7. Giants, Commanders. Oh wait, did I skip ahead? I completely skipped ahead. Yeah, I completely skipped ahead. Oops, I skipped 2 games. My bad. They're still gonna be 4-7 anyway because the Giants are gonna lose to the Cowboys regardless. They're gonna lose to them regardless. The Commanders is probably gonna be a little bit of an easier game for them, even though it is tougher because it's still a divisional game. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say they're gonna go 5-7, but they are gonna lose to the Eagles, so that's gonna make them 5-8 on the year. I say they split against the Commanders, so that's 5-9. Giants, Vikings. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this matchup, so that's 5-10 on for them. The Colts, I really gotta see what Matt Ryan's about. Cause let's be honest, even though the Colts are a better team, the Colts still didn't make the playoffs. But you know what? I'm gonna give it to him anyway. I'm gonna say 5-11 for the Giants. And of course, the Eagles, they're gonna sweep the Giants as all usual. So the Giants are gonna go 5-12 on the year. Ouch. But hey, until they prove otherwise, that's where it's gonna have to go. I understand the Giants had a good draft. I understand they had an okay free agency, and I say okay because they didn't really do much. They had to get rid of one of their guys who's actually on the Eagles right now. He's actually on the Eagles in James Bradbury. So there's that. So yeah, there's that. The Giants are once again not making the playoffs. Because at least for the time being, I don't know what their team is like, and let's be honest, their schedule is fucking brutal. The Ravens, don't sleep on the Ravens. The Ravens are probably gonna win their division. The Packers, we know what the Packers are all about. The Seahawks, they're in rebuild, so they might have a chance against them. The Lions, they're probably gonna contend for a little bit of something this year. They're a little bit more better. We have to see because Jared Goff is still shit water. Their schedule's a little bit more easier, but here's the deal. You're still going up against teams that if they were to make the playoffs, they're going to get instantly eliminated. That's how it is. So that's 5-12 for them. Now, of course, we have my team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We need to go ahead and play that command. Alright, so we have them right now. Their first game is going to be against the Lions. That will be a W, of course, because the Lions are the Lions, regardless of how y'all feel, regardless of their improvement. I feel like the Eagles are going to beat this team. Now, the Vikings. For me, personally, this is probably going to be game of the week when it goes to Jalen Reagor and when it goes to Justin Jefferson. But here's the crazy thing about it. This is actually where I see the Eagles losing to the Vikings because so far in the past couple occasions when it goes to the Vikings, the Eagles have lost against them. They lost to them after they beat them in the championship game, and I believe they lost to them again. I think they lost to them again with Justin Jefferson's rookie year, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know if they fought. I don't know if they faced each other even with Justin Jefferson there. But I do see the Eagles picking up their first L of the season against the Vikings. Commanders, they're probably going to beat the Commanders. They might even sweep the Commanders this year. I see it coming because the Eagles are very much improved this year compared to what they were a year ago. Their defense is definitely improved, and let's be honest, their quarterback is the Washington Commanders quarterback is Carson Wentz. If anybody, and I mean anybody, knows Carson Wentz, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. They know Carson Wentz. They know what makes him tick. They know because he did not want to be there. So keep that for what it is. Okay, next is the Jaguars. The homecoming of Doug Peterson. where I knew this for a fact. Doug Peterson, he's gonna get a standing ovation. We're gonna miss that dude. But when it's game time, it's gonna be an L for the former coach. Because while the Jaguars, they are pretty good, I'm telling you, they've improved. That Eagles defense is going to potentially give Trevor Lawrence some hell. So right now, the Eagles, to kick off the year, they're going to be 3-1. They're going to beat the Lions. They're going to lose to the Vikings. They beat the Lions. They're going to lose to the Vikings. They're going to beat the Commanders. They're gonna beat the Jaguars. That's 3-1. Another game is, of course, up against the Cardinals, where the Eagles are actually going to face another former Eagle. They're going to face against Zach Ertz this time around when he comes around against the Cardinals. Now, I know there's no Larry Fitzgerald, but here's the deal. Eagles still lost to them last time. Now, I do know that the Eagles have the capabilities to beat someone like Kyler Murray. The question is, will they do it? Can they do it? They have the capabilities, but can they do it? For the time being, I'm going to give this an L until I see otherwise. And the reason why I say this is because the Eagles have a tendency of not being able to properly stop mobile quarterbacks. They couldn't do this for the time being. They couldn't do this when it goes to Dak Prescott. They really could not do this until Dak Prescott decided to sit up there and turn into a more pocket passer. When that motherfucker was running, he gave us trouble. But since he stopped running, he still is giving us trouble. Make no mistake. He's still slightly dual threat, but guys like Kyler Murray and that read option, it's a problem for the Eagles to stop. Which is crazy to say, considering you have Jalen Hurts who does the read option. But we'll see how it all goes this time around. But for the time being, I'm going to give that an L for the Eagles against the Cardinals. Next, we have, of course, the Cowboys. Y'all already know what I said about that. I said they're going to split the series, so I'm going to actually make it so that they're going to split the series. So that's going to be 4-4 for the Eagles, I believe, because I said they're going to lose to the Cardinals, and of course they're going to beat the. I'm sorry, that's 4-3. My bad. Yeah, they're going to lose to the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Cowboys this time around, but the next game they're going to lose to them. So I might as well just make it a thing. Just have it like this. Right now they're 4-4. Steelers and Eagles. I know the Steelers have slightly improved as a team, but so have the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to give that new quarterback some trouble. I don't know who's a new quarterback for the Steelers, and that's the problem. They're going to run into an Eagles squad that is hungry on defense, especially with Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean there. They've vastly improved defensively. I can see this defense winning the Eagles. This Eagles defense is going to win them a ton of games. Letting y'all know right now. I know the story is Jalen Hurts, but the story is just as much the Eagles defense as it is the Eagles offense. Letting you know with that. Texans, I know where this is going. That's going to be a W. Commanders, I just said that they're probably gonna sweep them, so they're gonna go 7-4 on the year. Against the Colts, that depends, because it depends on how Matt Ryan is. I see the Eagles winning against the Colts. Honestly, I see this happening. I think they win against the Colts. That's just me. I don't know. I have more trust when it goes to the Eagles on defense against Matt Ryan than it goes to the Eagles offense against the Colts defense. But then, let's be honest, the Colts defense, they're good, but I think they're going to have some trouble stopping, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I don't know who's their second cornerback, but their second cornerback better be ready to defend Devontae Smith. That goes for every other team, by the way. Next, we got the Packers and the Eagles. I'm telling y'all, man, this is going to be a tough-ass matchup. This is not only the big test for the Eagles, but this is a big test. Big test for the Cowboys, but this is just as much of a big test for the Eagles. Because Again, this all depends. If Aaron Rodgers is in this game, it depends because we don't know with him. He tends to get hurt from time to time. If he's out for that game, the Eagles have a shot. But if he's in for that game, the Eagles are going to have some trouble. Now, I know this for a fact. The last time the Eagles and Packers faced one another, the Eagles actually narrowly won that game. Aaron Rodgers is not going to make it easy on you. I understand Aaron Rodgers does not have Devontae Adams anymore. But here's the deal. He went on just fine without Devontae Adams. I'm sorry, not Devontae Adams. He went on just fine without Jordy Nelson. He had Devontae Adams there. Now, who's to say that the next Packers wide receiver that steps up becomes the next guy for Aaron Rodgers to just turn into an elite receiver with? It's because it's Aaron Rodgers. It's why I'm like, you know what, bro, this is not going to be an easy game. So I see the Philadelphia Eagles actually losing this game. They're 8-5 on the year. Yeah, they'll be 8-5 on the year. Titans and Eagles. Now this one is going to be extremely interesting. Now, y'all hear me mention A.J. Brown. Guess what A.J. Brown came from? This exact team. A.J. Brown came from the Tennessee Titans via trade. He did not want to stay in Tennessee. He wanted to go where he would get paid and be valued. We paid him that money. Now, this is going to be interesting because you basically have the following. You have Derrick Henry versus the Eagles' rushing defense. And if the Eagles' rush defense stops Derrick Henry, and it's up to Ryan Tannehill to stop, up to Ryan Tannehill to score, the Eagles will win this game. Ryan Tannehill is not that good of a quarterback to where he's going to lead you to a W, especially with the situation he's given. Because let's be honest, when you look at the Titans' offense, what do you see? What's the first person you think of when it goes to the Titans' offense? You think of Derrick Henry. You think of a guy that literally can sit up there, go all the way as 1 yard line, his own 1 yard line, take the ball, push off 5-6 people, and still get into the end zone. That is how dominant Derrick Henry is. But as dominant as he is, he can be contained. If the Eagles can contain him, which I know they have the capabilities to do so, off of really one guy they picked up in the draft. He's the one guy I can really see making a big impact for this Eagles defense, and he's just a fucking rookie. And that's Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis's role is basically built to stop guys like this. If you're built to stop guys like Derrick Henry, you've basically won half the battle. And I say half. The other half is up to the passing defense in order to do their job. And if they can't do their job, there's only so much you can do. So, right now, the passing defense, in my opinion, they got it easy because Darius Slay and James Bradbury is going to have fun against that Titans wide receiver core. I understand the Titans got Treylon Burks to replace A.J. Brown, but I'm telling you, he better have the experience quick. He better get it down fast because he's up against two good cornerbacks. James Bradbury is no slouch. Darius Slay is elite, people. And I don't want to hear any bullshit. Darius Slay is elite. Do not stop disrespecting this man's name. He's elite. I understand he doesn't have a lot of interceptions, but the one thing that Darius Slay makes damn sure of is that you don't get as much yards as you should if you are a wide receiver. Only a couple wide receivers were able to do this to him, and of course, that one of those wide receivers being Devontae Adams. I'm not fucking surprised. He does this to anybody. It's him, or it's basically any of the elite wide receivers. It's him. It's probably Cooper Kupp. It's any of those guys. Those are the guys that, of course, may give him some trouble, but that's to be expected. They're elite at their position, just like he's elite at their position. I mean, elite at his position. It is what it is. But aside from that, man, look, I can't see the Titans winning against the Eagles. Can't see it. Now, on that same note, with me saying that the Titans on that same note with me, I don't know if I said Titans would beat the Cowboys. If I did, I might retract that statement if I did say that, because again, it's all gonna come down to Ryan Tannehill and that wide receiving core. It is such an unknown that I literally have no idea if they're really gonna pull off as many wins as people expect them to pull off. Eagles Giants, yeah, I know where that's gonna be. So let me go ahead and update this. Eagles 9-5, 10-5, up against the Bears 11-5. The Eagles are gonna go 11-5. They're gonna beat the Bears. That's out of the after Packers L. That's W. Titans W. Giants W. Bears W. Cowboys, I did say they're gonna split, so that's 11-6. Just off that alone, right now, from what you can tell by the schedule, I said the Cowboys were gonna go 10-7. The Eagles are gonna go 11-6. That will be enough for them to win the division. This is just me keeping it going. Eagles and Saints, they're gonna go ahead and win again, because the Saints are. We don't know how the Saints are. We don't know how Alvin Kamara is. I don't know if Michael Thomas will be all that well. And on top of that, here's one other thing. Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston, bro. He's pretty spotty, to say the least. Michael Thomas literally has not played football in a full year. Alvin Kamara was in jail for a little bit, but he'll get his feet back together. But still, the dude was in jail, so we don't know. And of course, the Eagles gonna beat the Giants again, so that's 13-6 if that goes correct. The Eagles will win the division at 13-6, off of the fact that they have a completely easy schedule. And on top of that, they're vastly improved as a team. So, yeah, take that for what it's worth. Lastly, we have one more team in the NFC East. We have the Commanders. The Commanders. Against the Jaguars, Washington. 1 minute. And on top of that, I'm going to take a sip of water because I desperately need it. Okay, against the Jaguars, Washington is going to win. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Washington's not going to win. Washington's actually going to lose this game. They're going to lose this game. Why? Because I don't know how Carson Wentz is. That's why. That's exactly why. I don't know how Carson Wentz is. So, as far as I'm concerned, I do not know. Against the Lions. I think they'll beat the Lions. So, yeah, they're going to actually pick up their first win off the Lions. I just don't think they'll do it against the Jaguars. I think they might against the Lions. I know, it's weird how I operate like that. Against the Eagles, y'all know where that's coming. I'm going to go ahead and mark 2 more L's down. So, that's 1 and 2. Okay, so they're going to go, 1 and 3. So, they're going to get swept by the Eagles. So, I already know that. Against the Cowboys, I did say they're probably going to split. I think they're going to split against them. I know I had to have said that. I already hydrated. I have a little bit of bottle of water left. Of course I'd be sweaty. I'm doing all this talking. I have to do it. Whew. Okay. I can do it. I can power through this. Oh god. But yeah, basically, let me see where I can find it here. Okay. 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 Yeah, except for the Cowboys, they're gonna split the series against them. Against the Titans, they're gonna fucking lose. So compensate for your sweat. They're gonna lose against yeah, they're gonna lose against the Titans. So there's that. I just say they're gonna split against them. The Bears are gonna actually win here. The Bears are not gonna be that good. I see it coming. The Bears are not gonna be that good. They're gonna be, yeah, they're gonna be lacking against the Bears. I mean, sorry, the Bears are gonna lose. The Bears are gonna be lacking against the oh god, against the Packers. I know where that's going. Jesus Christ. 2-5. Yes, I believe the Packers. They're practically gonna sweep the NFC East. They're gonna go 4-0 against the NFC East. Depending on the situation. Against the Colts, they're gonna lose against the Colts. 2-6. The Vikings, I can actually see this coming. They're probably gonna beat Kirk Cousins. Real shit. I see them beating their former quarterback. They're gonna beat Kirk Cousins. They're gonna go 3-6 on the year. So I see that coming. Against the Eagles, I already told you. Against the Texans are so bad, man. I'm telling you, Texans are gonna get routed by the fucking NFC this year. Washington's gonna go 4-6 already. Against the Falcons, that's gonna be interesting. Both teams are kind of in a little bit of a rebuilding phase. But you know what? I'm going to give Washington this game. I understand the Falcons got Drake London and Kyle Pitts, but I do not trust Marcus Mariota. I trust Carson Wentz before I would trust Marcus Mariota. That's the fucked up part about it. Against the Giants, honestly, like I said, it's a fucking mid-off. But I see them splitting, so I'm gonna go 6-6, 6-7. Damn, they faced them back to back against the 49ers. That will be an L. I'm sorry, that's gonna be an L in my book. They're gonna go 6-8. Against the Browns, I actually see them beating the Browns here. I see them beating the Browns. They're gonna go 7-8, and against the Cowboys, they're gonna go 7-7. Was that right? 7-9. I'm gonna say, is it possible to go 7-9? Because we got week 18. Basically 7-9, 7-10, so to speak. But I will find out. Oh god. But yeah, that's literally the NFC East in a nutshell. The Philadelphia wins the division. They win a division at 13-6. The Cowboys, though, under that situation, the Cowboys will still make the playoffs. They just won't win a division. They will make the playoffs at 10-7. New York Giants is eliminated at 5-12. Washington will be eliminated at 7-10. I see them being that fucking bad. I swear I don't think this record shit makes sense from the way how I got it. 5-12? That would have to be out of an 18-week season, 5-12. Do you win 2 more? Hold up. Yeah, it's 7-10. I was correct. So yeah, they'll have to go 7-10. I'm sorry. They'll lose to some team. But yeah, they're gonna go they're gonna go 7-10. That's where I think they're gonna go. They're just gonna win 7 games, but they're gonna lose those 10. Damn, I must have missed a game. Yeah, that's the NFC East. NFC South, I'm gonna make it quick only because I know I'm gonna make it quick for the rest of these, okay? I'm gonna do the best I can. The next stream is gonna be all AFC. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where are they going? Tampa Bay Bucks. Let's go to them. Here we go. I'm gonna start with them first. Tampa Bay Bucks. I already said they're gonna beat Dallas. They're gonna beat the Saints. They're gonna go 2-0. Now, against the Packers, I see them actually losing. Actually, no, take that back. I see the Packers winning here.
I'm sorry. I see the Bucks winning here. I see the Bucks beating the Packers. Why? Because for some reason Tom Brady tends to have Aaron Rodgers' number. So, yeah, Tampa Bay, they beat them. Against the Chiefs, that's actually going to be an L. I see this one being an L. They're going to go 3-2. Against the Falcons, they're going to beat the Falcons, their own rivals. So that's going to be 4-2. Steelers, that's 5-2. Panthers, 6-2. Literally, it's Tom Brady, people. What do you expect? Ravens, you know what? I actually see the Ravens beating them here, 6-3. Rams, potentially 6-4. You know what? I'm going to give them that. I'm going to say 6-4. I'm going to give the Rams that. Seahawks, 7-4. Seahawks, the Tampa Bay is going to be 7-4. Browns, 8-4. The Browns are not good. I'm telling Sean Taylor this right now, people. The Browns are not that good. Saints, they're probably going to sweep the Saints. So I understand the Saints usually will have their number because Tom Brady defensively kind of struggle against them. But still, you know, Bucks is going to make damn sure they sweeping you. They're going to sweep potentially both these teams, both the Saints and they might sweep the whole fucking division. Maybe I'm overrating the Bucks. I don't know. I know they lost their key players, but literally Tom Brady by himself is going to make it so that it's not going to be that bad. Against the 49ers, I actually see the 49ers beating them there. That's 9-5. Bengals, they're going to lose against the Bengals. That's 9-6. Cardinals, 9-7. I'm sorry, 9-7. I have to. The Cardinals are going to be good. Panthers, I did say they're going to beat them. So they're going to be 10-7, and Falcons they're going to go 11-7. So 11-7 on the year for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm going to go to the next team. That's the Panthers. Panthers going to be very mid. Oh my gosh. Carolina. Oh, Carolina. What are you doing? All right. Against the Browns, they're going to go 1-0. Against the Giants, they're going to go. I think they said that I said they were going to lose against them. So they're going to go 1-1. Against the Saints, I give them that against the Saints, but I think they're going to split the series. They're going to go 2-1 against the Saints. I just think they're going to split. Against Arizona, they're going to lose to Arizona. I'm telling you. I see it coming. They're going to lose to Arizona. A lot of these teams are going to lose to Arizona. I think they're going to be a good team. 49ers is another one. They're going to lose to them too. So that's 2-3. Rams are going to lose to this one. That's 2-4. Bucks 2-5. Falcons, I think they're going to split against them as well. So I'll say. There you go. I say 3-7 off the simple fact that I said they're gonna split against the Saints. Bengals, that's 3-8. Sorry about that. I'm yawning. Panthers against the Ravens. That's 3-9. Against the Broncos, that might actually be a game for them to win because the Broncos lost a lot of talent despite Russell Wilson being there. And despite them, they lost one key wide receiver. But still, I see a shocker coming. That's going to be my shocker pick with the Broncos losing to the Panthers. And then after that, they go right to Russell Wilson's old team against the Seahawks. They're going to beat the Seahawks. So I can see them doing that. They're going to go to 5-9. Steelers, they might go to 6-9. I'm going to give them that. I don't exactly like the Steelers this season. Lions, they're going to go. You know what? I can see them beating them. 7-9. Buccaneers, you already know. 7-10. I said they're going to sweep them. And Saints, I said what I had to say from there. So, yeah, 7-10 is going to be their record. 7-10. Honestly, guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish all of this, which is a shame. But I will be able to do. I will see if I can do more of it. More of these division predictions. I'm gonna have to do more of the division predictions anyway. So let's see here. Who's next? Did I missed on the NFC side? I missed the Saints. I missed the Falcons. I didn't do the Falcons. I didn't do any of the NFC North. I didn't do the NFC West. And once I finish those, I'm gonna come back with this probably tomorrow early, and I'm gonna see if I could wrap this up as best I can. So there you go. That's everything that I have for this podcast. I almost went. Oh damn! I could have went 3 hours if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm gonna end it from there. One, because like what Bao said, I'm sweating profusely having to go and talk this much. But yeah, y'all know right before I end things, I give y'all a game of the week that I've been playing. Honestly, it's multiple games. It's multiple games that I've been playing. It's Tower Fantasy. It's Ark. It's No Man's Sky. It's playing these games. But I'm going to give y'all a game of the week of a game I actually have not played in quite some time. Right? Good. I haven't played this game in quite some time. Only because I know I love the game. It's very, very cool. Very, very good. So, let me go ahead and give y'all this. I saw it from earlier. This is the game I want y'all to check out. This game is on Xbox. This game is on PC. I don't know if it's on any other console. Oh, never mind. It's on PS4, apparently. Wow. I had no idea. Destiny Elysian Tale was on fucking PS4. But yeah, that's the game I want to show is this game right here. This game was once apparently free for the Xbox. But I want you guys to really... This is one of few side-scrolling games that I would sit up there, side-scroll platformer fighting games that I would tell people, yo, y'all need to sit down and actually give this shit a try. Actually sit down and like play this fucking game. This game is just... I love the game. You know, I haven't played it in quite some time, but I love the game.
Its great works long since complete, its storied civilizations long since fallen to dust. The greatest legends of Elysium long since
Wow.
what was once a land of promise.
But yeah, pretty much it's this game. I'm gonna show y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all see what Dustin Disney's Tale looks like for a little bit, in case for people that don't remember or have not seen it.
Began. The lone warrior stood against an army, slashing his way through all who opposed him. The mob stood no chance, and the soldier showed no mercy. But despite his victories, his skills, his ruthlessness, the valiant soldier would perish on this day. Not to the mob, but to a single child.
My game of the week, right here.
Dust, dust, arise.
A talking sword? What are you?
Only that which you have summoned.
Summoned? How? For what purpose?
That I do not know. But we shall learn in time. Now rise and claim the blade of Ara.
Yep, this is my game for y'all right here. Dustin Elysian's Tale.
Stop! Stop right there!
I'm gonna see if I can look up the price on this game right now. I don't know what it is, but I know it's still a game I would just go back. I'm probably gonna go back and play it at some point. I'm probably gonna do a run through of the game at some point on stream because of how much I really did enjoy playing it.
After 200 years, nobody expects the sword to just fly off and start, talking. I'm kind of wishing somebody told me this was part of the job description. Or maybe they did, and I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Dustin and Lizzie's
I'm
Tale
sorry,
on Steam is for
think I misheard
$15.
before. You said your name was Fidget?
Hey, this isn't about me. You're the one who's got my sword. How about you?
It's
tell
for
me
the
your
Switch?
name?
I'm
Calm yourself, Fidget.
I had no idea the
His
game was for
name
the
is
Switch.
Dust, and
The
he
game,
is the one who
Dustin
came from
Lizzie's
my
Tale is actually
sorrow.
for the Switch. I would have never known that.
Fidgets, then.
Wow.
That's me. And you're...
So it's for the Switch,
It
it's for the
might seem
PlayStation,
that
and it's
way,
for
though I
the
can't recall
Xbox.
that
So
name.
it's probably the same price at
So,
$15.
what is
Honestly,
this
in my opinion, the game's
sword?
worth $15.
I am
It's
the blade
it's a
of
really good
Ara.
game.
And you, Dust.
You
are
get
my
you
fated
get what you
sword
paid
bearer.
for out of this one. It's a really
well,
solid game.
that's all great and everything, but I think it's about time I got this sword back to the clan.
I can't let you
And
just
I
leave
hope
with
at
this
some
sword,
point
Fidget.
We
Right
see
now,
something
it's the
that
only
goes
thing that
along with
knows who
Dustin
I am.
Lizzie's Tale that
I
I'm gonna
don't
go
even
ahead
know
and
how I
actually
got here.
show y'all for a little bit.
Well, then you leave me no choice. I challenge you. The winner gets the sword.
Well,
Alright,
I need to
alright,
find it for a
you
little bit.
win.
Give me 1
But
minute.
don't think I'm leaving empty-handed. I'm coming with you. But, I really need the sword back when you're done doing, whatever it
Should
is
be
you're
able to
doing.
have it somewhere.
what exactly am I doing, Hara?
The answers you seek lie to the east. There is a path
Huh.
through the glade that leads down the mountain.
I'm actually having a tough time trying to
And
find
from
that
there
fucking
you will
tweet.
find a village. That is your first step.
Then will you give me the sword?
It went to their anniversary
really
thing.
need to get it back home before anyone notices it's gone.
When I find out just
Here it
what
is right
I'm
here.
supposed to
I'ma
do
show
with
y'all
it,
this real
it's
quick.
all yours, Fidget. Come on, let's go.
I'll read off what this says. Y'all didn't see any of the fighting. You just saw basically the beginning parts of the game. My bad for not showing the combat, but this is how the combat looked. And it still looked pretty good at its time. I really want to go back and play this.
It's really beautiful up here.
Yeah. So, any idea where we are?
I was maybe hoping you could tell me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this little comic right here. They might have something teased with this game in the future, and I hope this is the case. So, if y'all want to go ahead and check out this little tweet here that they put out, you have it right here at your disposal. Posted right there. They have a little comic with the 10th anniversary of this game. And I will say this, they ended it with this where it says, I have a feeling that great things are ahead of us, many great things. And I hope that for this game, that there definitely is some great things ahead because it was very good. I liked it for what it was. So that's it. That's my game of the week is Dustin and Lizzie's Tale. Now I know y'all want me to say Tower of Fantasy, but Tower of Fantasy, you can pick it up on the phone and on the PC right now. It's a free game. That's probably, yeah. There's 3 main games I've been playing this week, but I only picked this one because I haven't played it in so long, and because I know it's a good game and it deserves its recognition just as much as any of the other games I've mentioned here that deserves its recognition. That or pretty much got its recognition. So pretty much if y'all got $15 to spare, try that out. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Till then, let me give y'all the schedule throughout the rest of the week. Alright, the schedule throughout the rest of the week. consists of the following. We are done with Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm not doing Metal Gear Solid 3 at all. I have not played Monster Hunter on stream in almost 2 weeks when I was supposed to. But I promise I will get back at it hopefully tomorrow. And I say hopefully because if I'm not addicted to any of these other games, I will definitely get back on some Monster Hunter. 8:30 p.m. we do got some movie night. Yeah, definitely 8:30 p.m. we got a movie night going on. Friday I'm off, thank God, but that doesn't mean that I'm off with Yakuza. So 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we come back with Yakuza Kiwami 2, and of course Saturday same thing, we come back with some more Monster Hunter. Alright guys, I'm done for tonight. I'm done for today. I hope everyone has enjoyed. Speaking of Monster Hunter, I do have somebody I do want to raid for Monster Hunter. I have the phenomenal Intrusive that's actually streaming some Monster Hunter right now. We're going to go and show him some love. Please check out the Discord whenever y'all have the time. Every second, every minute, and every hour you spend with me. Check out the Discord and the Guilded server when you have the time. Yeah, every second, every minute, and every hour you spend with me is every second, every minute, and every hour. I'm blessed and thankful for you guys. Have yourself a good rest of the day, rest of the night, and evening. I have nothing more else to say. I hope you guys just take care of yourself. Don't be a dickhead to one another, and be safe. Got the merch store as always here. I'm going to promote that too as always. And that's it. There you go. You have everything at your disposal. Bye. See you.